Hello and welcome back to our examination of the Heralds in Assassin's Creed 2. Let's get right into it.
Notice from Maestro Corsini il Medico. Treatment with the leech varieties brought back from the marshlands of the Indies will heal almost any ill and leave you feeling refreshed and rejuvenated.
Now this is a public health notice from one Mr. Corsini. Apparently he's a health professional in the city of Florence at this time. I was unable to locate if there was an actual member of the Corsini family performing these actions during this time period, but I was able to locate a member of the family who was a law expert, a diplomat, and a confinement of justice in the city, though, at this time. Moving on from him, though, leech therapy was a common practice for centuries, and removing blood was thought to help balance the humors in the human body, which traces back to Greek medicine. Anytime you were ill and got red, they believed you had too much blood in your body and needed to be drained, which is a bold move. Is bold the right word?
Stati attenti. Good Fra Donato wishes to remind all earnest Christians of the need for charity in these hard times. Offerings can be brought directly to the priory entrance all days save feast days.
A great reminder of the important role that religion played in this time period. We haven't seen too much of that to this point, so this covers that angle. Friar Donato doesn't seem to be tied to a specific figure from this time period, but his message is one universal and could be used in almost any time period. Charity is always the emphasis of the church, and whether it practices that well or not, that's a different debate, but that message would be quite common at any time period.
To all ragazzi of suitable age, the city guard is recruiting volunteers for the road patrols and city reserves. Why serve with mercenary condottieri when you could uphold the honor of the Republic?
I couldn't locate an exact suitable age for 1400s Florence guard positions, but this is a fairly reasonable pitch by the town to draw in recruits for more men for their guard duties. Their basic argument is for these locals to avoid the trouble associated with getting involved in the mercenary troops that we see all throughout Assassin's Creed 2 and that existed in real life, and join with keeping the peace in and around Florence.
Notice to all foreign merchants within the glorious Republic's walls. The città, in its wisdom, has elected to raise a nominal levy on all export trade registered through any of the arti maggiori.
Once more, we are talking about levies, fines, and fees of the Renaissance period. The city of Florence has decided to levy all exports through the guilds of Florence. Now, what are the guilds of Florence, you ask? Great question. These were secular corporations that controlled the arts and trades in the city from the 12th to the 16th century. And they were broken up into 7 major guilds. First focused on judges, lawyers, and notaries. Another focused on merchants, finishers, and dyers of cloth. There were wool manufacturers and merchants, bankers and money changers, silk weavers and merchants, physicians and pharmacists, and furriers and skinners. We'll probably touch more on those in a different video.
Stati attenti. Next week's public mass with the Cardinal will have to be cancelled due to a small outbreak of plague. Pray for his recovery and the confinement of the dread death to the small, unimportant village he was in.
Now we are talking. This notice should be quite concerning for the people of Florence. There have been a bunch of epidemics throughout Europe, and many of these reached the city itself. In fact, at the same time that Ezio kills Vieri di Pazzi and foils the entire Pazzi conspiracy, 1478 to 1479, the city of Florence was rocked by a severe epidemic. We unfortunately don't see that mentioned much, except for here, but historically the city saw its mortality rate skyrocket to the highest point in decades. For more information on epidemics in Renaissance Florence, there was an interesting study done examining the dowry fund in the city that I will link in the description. But back to the main point, if a player is hearing this herald around that time in the game, the Pazzi conspiracy time, the confinement of the dread death does not go well. And that's going to do it for us today. Thank you so much for watching. I love examining how the heralds build the world around us in Assassin's Creed 2, so check back for more later.